Pal and the dog are speeding away from the wolf-infested oil refinery in the industrial zone. They drive past what looks like a battlefield. People dead all along the roadside. Powell figures since you can smell them rotting, you don't have to worry about them. Then all of a sudden, Powell jams on the brakes and backs up. He looks at the dog and says, "Do you see that? Right there. That guy's wearing level 3 advanced body armor. That stuff's super hard to get." Powell continues to talk to the dog as if she's listening to him. Powell says, "The only thing that killed that guy was the shot to his melon. Just look at that car. I'll bet there are exit holes clean through the license plate. I don't care how bad it smells, I'm getting that body armor." Powell gets out of the truck and cuts the straps and yanks the armor off the rotting corpse. He tosses it on the roof of his truck in a basket full of chains and ropes and figures the rain and wind will knock down the smell over time as they go. They head out across a wide open plain where there are only shanty towns built by people who broke down there and who have absolutely no way out. They survive by eating cats and dogs and whatever they can find. Powell and the dog drive for several hours until the road gets very narrow and rocky. Powell says to the dog, "I've got a really bad feeling about this." Powell brings the truck to a complete stop. The road is blocked and he barely has enough room to turn around. He shuts the lights off and sits very still. All you can hear is crickets. Thousands of them. So many, it's almost louder than the sound of the truck idling. Powell kills the engine, and you can really hear them. Powell looks at the dog and says sarcastically, "I know you'd love to go out there and look around and see if it's safe for us, but you can barely sit up." Powell says, "I don't want to go out there either. But if something happens to me and you want to bail, I'm leaving the windows down, no hard feelings." Powell gets out and has a look around. He can smell body odor, the smell of a man sweating. It's not like you can go to the store and get deodorant. Everyone stinks. And if the wind is just right, you can smell someone from a good distance out. Just then, the area to the left of him lights up with some type of powerful lights. Powell squints and tries to see what it is. Then he realizes it's a truck full of men, all pointing rifles at him. Once again, all he can hear is crickets and his own heartbeat. Powell looks ahead at the roadblock, thinking, is it closer to run there, or is it closer to run back to the truck? All of a sudden, everything lights up. There are men with rifles all over the place. He can even see 2 guys in the bucket from the front-end loader, hiding behind steel plating. Powell realizes immediately this is a no-win situation. He yells out, "I have gas, and I know where there's lots more." Nobody moves. Everybody just keeps looking at Powell. Just then, a big man comes out from behind the wrecked cars and lifts his helmet to show his face and says, "Powell, is that you?" Powell gets a puzzled look on his face and says, "Bren, is that you?" Bren says, "Who the hell needs gas? Everything runs on hydrogen. Only really old people still use gas. I can't believe none of these guys shot you." The expression on Powell's face is priceless. Just then, Old Man Witmenn comes out and says, "Did I hear you say you have gas?" Old Man Witmenn is considered a nut, but everyone likes him and respects his knowledge of machinery. He can repair or build anything mechanical. Mr. Witmenn asks Powell, "How much gas do you have?" Powell takes him around the back of his truck and opens his tailgate, showing him he has a considerable amount. Witmenn asks him, "Did you happen to cross any train tracks where you got this fuel?" Powell says, "As a matter of fact, there were train cars full of it abandoned across the road, and I had to go a half a mile around it to cross. Why do you ask?" Bren chimes in and says, "Uncle Powell, you are gonna love this. Mr. Witmenn has been working on a doomsday bug-out mobile for around 20 years. Bren chuckles and says, "Nobody thinks he's crazy anymore." Bren and Mr. Witmenn lead Powell to their makeshift fortress, where they've stacked containers into a wall, blocking the mouth of a large gorge. They've placed gunners behind sandbags all over the top and have large searchlights illuminating the grounds below. They also have men on the ground, making sure no one parks or camps in front of the fortress, so Powell is instructed to leave his truck down by the road. Powell commends them on their castle-like strategy. High walls, 1 gate, guards in every vulnerable place, roadblock out front, complete with a flanking position. Outstanding. Once they walk through the fortress, it's wide open country. No cars, no trucks, no homes, nothing, not a single light, not even a campfire, for as far as you can see. Old Man Witmenn instructs Powell and Bren to wait here, and he disappears into a huge dark building. Bren and Powell start talking about how they can try to find the rest of their family. And vroom! You can hear a large engine start up. Both Powell and Bren stare into the darkness, trying to see what Witmenn is doing. And wow! A wall of lights comes on. Bren and Powell get off the tracks and out of the way. Witmenn pulls out an amazing-looking creation. He clears the building and backs it up out into the open, where Bren and Powell can get a good look at his handiwork. Mr. Witmenn points to the ramps on the back of his rig and tells Powell, "You can put your truck aboard with mine, and we can go get filled up. Then I can take you safely back east, as far as you want to go." Powell and the old man go to the front of the vehicle, where they can talk more about a plan. Old Man Witmenn tells Powell they stripped every container off the last 2 trains through here, and that's how he got the 2 20mm cannons on top of his rig. The cannons were for a Coast Guard cutter, and they came with all the targeting electronics, which also includes some type of object detection. We changed the terrain parameters to fool the computer, so now it's a long-range lookout. In a nutshell, if there's something on the tracks 3 miles ahead, we get a warning alarm. Theoretically, one person could drive this thing and sleep at night while it's cruising. I can't see anyone catching up to it in the dark on uneven ground and getting on board. Number 1, they don't know we're coming. Number 2, I didn't put anything on there for them to grab onto. The only way up is from right here, and I have 5 gallons of gas in a homemade flamethrower that will clear them off like ticks from a dog. The guns are mounted to an old excavator, so it has 360-degree movement, and the weight of the guns and ammo is no problem. We can sleep 4 comfortably with onboard water, including a shower. There's plenty of food and camping gear as well. On flat ground, we can probably cruise at around 60 or 70 miles an hour without using a lot of fuel. Powell says you thought of everything but fuel, and Witmenn says, no, I have a flat 500-gallon fuel tank under the car carrier that's half full, but it's old biofuel, low-octane crap. I have another 300-gallon tank under the front of the truck that has around 75 gallons in it, and it's the good stuff. If we put your fuel in with it, we can go back to the fuel farm and dump the bio-junk and fill up with the high-octane. Then we can go anywhere you want. Powell says, I can go anywhere I want right now. All I need to do is get on the other side of your roadblock. And that is the end of episode 2. The little truck train is gonna need a home. The truck train was made out of a bunch of parts from some Hot Wheels and a paint stick and some popsicle sticks, and I can't even begin to tell you. I'll just show you how it was made. And I made it in the little RV that I'm staying in behind a friend of mine's house, and God bless Tony for keeping my stuff so I was able to go into storage and get some more of my equipment out of there, and I'm fighting with the audio equipment in here to make it go. It's not that the audio equipment is bad, it's the fact that there are kids here and I'm in an RV and kids are being kids, and then I'm also half a mile from an airport and airplanes are being airplanes, and then of course everybody wants to ride their dirt bikes and their drag race down the street through here, so I've had to chop this thing into pieces because I can't get a full piece of audio. No way, not happening. So anyway, the truck train is gonna need a good home. So whoever comes up with the best name for the truck train and gets the most amount of likes on their truck train name idea, I will ship it to you. And I will tell you right now, this thing is so fragile, if you even looked at it wrong, a piece of it would fall off. So you're going to have to keep it on a shelf somewhere and keep it covered or keep it in a cabinet or something like that. But anyway, if you wanted to cheers. The other big question is, I know we kick this around on Facebook. I don't like Facebook any more than anybody else does. But it really works for what I'm doing, and I'm able to coordinate with a lot of different people and get feedback and show pictures and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the whole, build of this really happens over on my Facebook channel, my Facebook page. So anyway, if you guys don't like the truck train, don't want me to go any further with the truck train, let me know. And in the next episode, right off the bat, that rascal's going over the side of a cliff. And we will terminate that thing. It's going to go down in flames. It's going to blow up. I don't care what happens. But you guys can tell me what we should do with it if you guys don't like it. But if you do like the concept of the truck train for the movie, I need to know that. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I've had enough. I'm going to put one of these up every first Saturday of every month so that we can keep on some type of a time schedule, and hopefully I could coordinate it whereby the first of the year, next year, we will have a grand finale. I will edit it all together and we can watch the entire thing. Alright, so this is the story of the movie Bad Seeds, Reap What You Sow. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, like, hit the share button. That stuff is so important for the algorithm. Thanks, guys.